Black math! Give me some math and I'll give you some flack. Black math!
Okay, here we go. A cross section is the intersection of a three-dimensional figure and plane. So see over here, when you slice a cylinder parallel to its base, that cross section is a circle. That kind of makes sense. Because if you cut a cylinder in half, I don't know. Let's just envision like a really sharp sword. And then, but if you look at the cylinder, that's a circle, right? What happens if you cut it at an angle?
Oh, it becomes like,
Well, we'll get to that. What if you cut it straight down? What is that?
A half circle.
What if you look at it? What's the cut part?
a crescent, a square.
Yeah, a rectangle. That's it. So see that?
A crescent?
So you can see
Is
it.
that a half circle?
So you see that? When you cut it vertically, it's a rectangle. When you cut it horizontally, it is a circle. Okay? Now, so on a cone, same thing. If you cut it parallel to the base, it's going to be just a smaller circle, right? That makes sense. Okay, what happens if you cut a cone? Yes, vertically, it is a triangle. Okay, now look at this. This can apply to other things. So what shape is that? Well, that is just a triangle. Okay. So finding the perimeter of a cross section in a cylinder, what's that circumference going to be?
What was the question? Sorry. Finding the perimeter of a cross section.
What's the radius?
Well, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the base. So the perimeter obviously is going to be, what is that? 24 pi, right? Okay. So the altitude of the cylinder lies on the plane. So basically you can find the perimeter of this cross section. Find the perimeter of that cross section. What is it?
Wait, half of 25? If it's cut in half, wouldn't it just be 12 pi? If it's
No.
half of 12. Or
What's
would it
the
be
what
24?
shape is the cross section?
Square.
Rectangle.
Oh.
So there's no pi in a rectangle.
Wouldn't it just oh, so it's 25 times 12, right?
No, that would be the area of the cross section.
So it's 12 plus
Isn't it
12 plus 25 plus 25.
24?
No, that would be the area of the
Is
cross
it
section.
50
Good
plus
job.
24?
50 plus 20, 50 plus 48.
Wait,
Right?
that is 90. Yeah. Okay, bad.
Because all the way
Because you
across
have to do
is
it.
24
Oh, right. Were we talking about perimeter?
perimeter, yeah. But if we
that's
were to find the area, then you'd be right, okay? So the perimeter is going to be 25 plus 25 plus 12 or 24 plus 24, which is 98. You guys good with that? Does that make sense? See how this would be difficult to draw?
I think you could do it. I really do.
I've tried to in the past and it hasn't been pretty. Okay, what's that cross section?
A triangle.
Just a triangle. How do you find the perimeter of that? Well, you would have to know the slant height, wouldn't you? But they don't give it to you. So maybe it's the area. You can find the area. How do you find the area of that cross section? Base times height divided by 2. What's the base?
6.
What's the height?
15.
15 times 6 is 90 divided by 2.
Is
30.
no what? 90 divided by 2 is 45.
45 square inches. Okay.
Well, you gotta just not 15 times 3.
All right. Here's a fancy principle. Cavalieri's principle says if two solids lying between parallel lines have equal heights and all cross sections at equal distances from their bases have equal areas, then the solids have equal volumes. That sounds really confusing, doesn't it? I need a visual because that definition is just way over my head. Is it over your head?
No.
No, I think
really
it's.
get it.
No, you totally get
I think
it.
it just like went straight beside me.
Yeah.
Okay.
didn't even hear it.
So let's just see how it applies. If two solids lying between two parallel lines, okay, have equal heights like this. See how these two solids lie between two parallel lines have have equal heights and all cross sections at equal distances from their bases, so that parallel lines would be the top and the bottom. So if they have equal heights and all the cross sections have equal areas, then the solids have equal volumes. So these are two different cones, but they have the same volume. Now, think about it this way. If you were to build this with just, you remember that toy that we used to play with? That it's like the three little pegs, and then it's like the pyramid of like the big circles.
Oh, but you put all, yeah.
And then, so
right.
Think of it like this. Think of a cone like this. This is a bunch of those circles getting smaller and smaller, right? Now you could technically build that right cone with those same little circles, right? You just make it shift to the right a little bit. But it's the same amount of circles. It's the same amount of space inside of that cone. So the volumes are going to be the same, okay? Wow, my shirt looks so blue.
I know, I notice that all the time when you wear that shirt and yeah, I know.
It's like really.
That was weird. Was that weird looking?
Yeah.
It's
pretty typical for this.
Yeah.
But this is the real.
Okay, so that's it. So basically the volume of that cone is the same. It doesn't matter if it's a right cone, if it's going straight up, or it's slanted or whatever. I mean, you could technically do a cone like this.
Wow.
You could
That's
definitely
an
do,
interesting cone.
I like this.
you could definitely do a cone like an ice cream cone or whatever like that. It's still the same amount of ice cream. You just don't want to eat that one because it's going to fall on your lap. Okay?
That's why it's a top ice, the ice cream looks like.
But that would have the same volume as this cone. Okay, I made it a little bit chubbier than I should have here. But these two cones are congruent.
That's so weird though.
I know, isn't that?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because they'll have the same volume.
I know, but like
Yeah.
if you look at a cup and you look at a really stout fat one, and then a really tall skinny one.
Yeah, they'll have the same.
They'll have the same volume. That's kind of like that makes sense. See, it didn't make sense to me for a while because if you shrink the tall one, it would be the same size as that one. And if
Yeah.
you skinnied that one, or you like did that, like toned it,
I don't know.
Yeah.
it's the same.
Toned
I
it.
don't know. I always
Do some sit-ups.
I didn't like. I was like unaggressive. Like I would like always try and like.
Okay, this is basically it for this lesson, but look at this.
Great job.
How would you find, you don't have to find the volume of this, but how would you find the volume of that? How would you find the volume?
How do you find a volume in the normal thing?
We have to
Wait,
eat.
Yeah, that's a good question to ask, because it's the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but first you have to like find the base, right?
Area base, so
Area base times height, right? Is
so
that the
half of
formula?
4.75 squared
Yeah.
times pi times 8.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, does that feel all right?
Feels fantastic.
Okay.
I like the little green F and simplify.
Okay, let's move on. I'm going to stop sharing here and
That's it.
turn that off.
Giggity sick.
Let's say 6.
Yeah. We have 13 problems. That's for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll probably do these 3 and then like no more.
Well,
I should have enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, if-
All right, moving on to 86.
Did you say I resubmitted the
Yep, I did. I gave you credit for it.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Yeah, I was just like 3. Anyways, so you take off the 2 lowest homework grades, right?
Yep.
And you take off the 2 lowest participation grades. But I have a question.
Yes.
Say like all our participation grades are 100% or more. Could you take off like a 3rd homework grade if that's the case?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, okay.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So like
So,
I have like 100.
If you got
like,
hundreds on all your practice
tests.
tests, basically, then I will take off a 3rd homework. I'll drop another 3rd homework thing.
So on a 3 problem. Okay. I have to figure out the math.
All right, so 86, determining chord length. Okay, so here's a circle. Here's a couple chords here. All right, so theorem 86.1 says this. If 2 chords intersect, in a circle, then the products of the chord segments are equal.
Okay, perfect. I'll be full of problems.
Okay, so if I were to label this, we call this AB. This will be E. Okay, guys, watch this. So if 2 chords intersect, and you're going to see something happening here that's beautiful. Then here's what happens. AE times EB has to equal CE times ED. What does that remind you of?
AB squared plus AB squared equals C squared.
It reminds me of my
Oh,
physics.
wait, no.
Oh.
It's not a theorem. It's not the
This times this equals this times this.
It's
A
like the
reflection?
distributive
Right.
reflection,
Oh,
refraction.
wait, this sounds like my physics formula.
Yes, he talks about this all the
Is it-
time.
Yeah, what is it? It's like the
Distribution.
refraction or reflection. That's what we're talking about. Let me
Reflection.
finish the
Like that.
formula.
Is it transcription?
No,
Translation. Give me 2
I
seconds.
think you're overcomplicating it.
Give me 2 seconds.
It's like there's a
But when else do you multiply this times this to equal this times this?
Not times that, 2, not times that.
No, I do this in physics.
Should I tell you?
Yeah, just tell us. We know.
Cross products. What does that look like?
Bro.
This is like a rate. This is a proportion already set up for you. So for example, if I had something like this,
I do this in physics. You know.
6,
What? I do this all the
4,
time. I literally did it Tuesday.
and then 3.
Like, let me look. It's like
What's this gonna be?
Wait, 6, 3, 4, 6.
8.
8. Look, cross products, fish method. 4 times 6 divided by 3. So 6 times 4 has to equal 3 times x. So do you guys remember doing that? I think you were doing it in physics. I think he's doing it in a lot of his classes. But basically, this is just the fish method. So see how the proportion is already set up for you. So fish method, that sucker all the way home. 4 times 6 is 24 divided by 3 equals 8. Okay.
The piggy goes home, not the fish.
So technically, since this is a proportion, technically we could say, okay, one of the segments times one of the segments has to equal the other segment times the other segment. But that we don't have to overcomplicate that. Basically, all we need to know is that the product of these 2 chords has to equal the product of these 2 chords.
Wait, it's 8?
Or not chords, the segments.
Should it not be 7?
6 times 4 has to equal 3 times 8. 6 times 4 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. Right?
I guess, yeah.
Do you think,
Wait, no, yeah, you're right.
unless you think 3 times 7 is 24, then we should talk. Because it doesn't, it equals 21. Okay, so see if you can do this one. Ready? Here's example 2.
It's not a passing grade.
Who knew?
I knew.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, so here's example 3. So here's 6, 6, 9. I want to know what that is. Can you do it really quick in your head? The answer is, I'm going to hold my breath until you get it.
6 times 6
9.
is no. 6 times 6 is 12 divided by
No, it's 3.
4.
So it's what, not?
Thank you, Jenna. You saved my life.
I guess.
6. Did you just say 6 times 6 is 12? Is that what you said?
No, 6 plus 6 is 12. 6
Yeah.
times 6 is 36.
Okay, so 36 divided by 9.
Oh, that is 9, 18, 27, 36, 4. So, Janae, you're what? That was so fast. Thank you.
She OD'd on energy drinks, so.
Energy drinks make me more.
No, whatever is in that, he said it was like Phanics.
Caffeine makes me more tired. I don't know why, but it always happens.
Okay, so let's algebra the crap out of this.
Ew, disgusting.
I hate
do-
algebra.
Oh, bro, me too. I absolutely despise
I
it.
love algebra.
No, algebra 2 is
I
like
think I'm
from
gonna
Satan.
skip algebra 2 and just move on to nothing.
I'm pretty sure you have to have like 4 years now.
Hey, don't listen to Tori.
Yeah, we
You're
only
gonna love
have
it.
3. You're about to have 4.
Okay, so here's what I got. I'm not gonna give you the letters, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you, this is 5.
Oh, it's
High
gonna be like,
five.
and this is like
This is
x
2.
plus 2.
Nice, Tori. This is X plus 2.
I should get. Can I get flag attack point for that?
And this is, little guy is 5 minus
I need
X.
2 more.
Okay, solve for X.
I feel like I should have got a flag attack point for that.
If you solve for X, I'll give you a flag attack point.
Okay, no one's shout out their answer. I need a second. I know how to do this. I swear. I just don't want to. What am I trying?
Tori is determined to get
I don't want it. I need 2 more. So I only have to do 4 more problem sets.
Just thinking the class, the senior class this year.
The senior class? I
Yeah,
can
we're
list a
pretty
lot of
great.
them.
The
Hallie, Maddie.
You're in the senior class.
Yes, I am.
I picked him up.
Maddie's in the
Abby.
senior
That one.
But you guys were not a part of my class when I
Maddie.
tripped over this and
Elena.
spilled out into the hallway.
We have Abby,
Did I tell you about that?
Elena,
I thought I saw that.
Me,
Aubrey.
Elise,
No, I was there.
Cindy,
I was there. It was really funny too. You
Grace.
tripped over that and
No.
you like it was in that other
Junior.
classroom, right?
She's a
Well,
junior.
it was in
Yours is
this
a
classroom.
junior?
Okay,
It was
what
my
is the
first
problem?
year
I
here.
didn't know that.
I was teaching right there.
Oh, you did a big better in algebra too. I realized that.
Grace and then.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was funny.
I know her middle name. Wait, what's your middle name?
No.
Val? Julia. Oh, I knew that. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so
It's pretty though.
So pretty.
Okay.
Wait, yours is.
Okay, who's getting the flak attack?
Wait, we're working on it.
Don't say it out loud.
Don't go over it.
Shut up.
That's why I went by Emma.
Okay, I'm on like.
Keep going.
This feels okay. F, I hate doing these this way. Hold up.
What?
Can I just?
No. 25. Because I went by.
What's the like formula? What's the formula for this? Yeah, no, I know. Old ladies say it's a lot. If I like backwards.
I know that
Thank
version.
you.
No,
Do you know what it is?
Don't do it as like proportions. Do it as a straight line.
Yeah,
Shut
that's what I was
up.
like.
No, it's
So
not.
I know like Anna, right?
It's actually
So I'm
I know
like,
if you divide
No, we
minus
can look at
5
this.
Anna's so
minus X, like,
Okay.
and then you
Since
do.
my mom.
Shut up.
Can you
The
spell
right
it?
numbers.
I'm not, I can't.
F,
Well, you
F.
can, but it
Five
makes it a little more
times 5
complicated.
minus X.
I would
plus-
just, I would
Okay,
just,
I know it's gonna be
just
set the
capitalist.
cross products
Times
equal.
X.
Just set those things equal.
But they derive, okay, so 5.
And then you distribute.
Did mom ever tell you that? And it was actually going to be Ellison.
I really don't like doing algebra. That should be stated.
What's my answer?
Equals.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways.
I know. Actually, I know what happened.
Don't tell anybody.
I know one's like
Because you have to get it all on one side, so that means.
I mean, imagine. Like,
I hate doing this.
Like,
I felt like I was going for the chapter.
Yeah, this is the last problem. So I'll let you guys have a little time if you.
Don't be, I like forgot how to do algebra. Is that bad?
What's that?
Is that bad that I forgot how to do algebra?
Yeah, kinda.
Depends. If it's all of algebra, if you get like a small piece of algebra.
I remember very little algebra, if I'm being honest. Try to block it out with presses.
I only remember stuff in algebra that they had follow-up lessons.
So both of you are
Oh,
like
Caitlin.
a lot better in geometry than you were.
Oh, I thrive in
And
geometry.
that's a lot of the case because it's,
I did.
People are either algebra people or geometry people. There's no in between.
yeah, I'm more of an algebra person. But now-
Disgusting. Sorry.
Get out.
I'm like way too dyslexic for that. I can't even read algebra half the time.
I just
We
said
can look
I
again.
No, we did it already.
Did you saw I said I
I
hate
did it all once.
that?
I hate this.
Then what do we do?
Oh, well.
Yeah, so that would work,
Yeah,
I
but
was just kidding.
it's just,
Because
it just makes
is
it.
actually one of the
We're
most
gonna
hated
get
games.
that. So then,
So what do we do with this?
so would this be 3? So we're just dividing.
No, it's not.
Why do you think
Fish,
people
but,
be
well,
mad?
It's just.
Nah,
makes
it's
it
all in.
complicated.
No, it's
So
bad.
remember, the reason the fish method
What?
works is because
Yeah,
this times this.
Stop messing with my
Equals
brain.
this
You're
times
kind of
So
so
set
annoying.
this times this equal to this.
I know
times
it's
this.
math.
My mom's
You have
actually
an
gonna name
algebraic
it
equation.
I know it's not. Oh, like that's.
So that's setting the cross products equal to each other.
No, I'm
It's
just
not
kidding.
math.
So you got, that proportion is right.
You know me long enough to know
So
that.
now-
It's like,
Instead of doing the fish method, just say 3x equals 24. So 3 times x has to equal.
It's math.
Oh, well, please, I'm such a popular girl.
Okay, how we doing? You guys ready? I think if you're trying to do the fish method, it doesn't really, I mean, you can do the fish method, it's just gonna complicate things.
How do we do it not?
Are you waving to me or are you wanting to ask me something or tell me an answer?
I was waiting.
I hate this because I'll be able to like do it when we walk through it. It's kind of making me angry. Anyways, I've moved on with my life.
I would prefer as an old friend.
All right, you guys,
Enemy.
if you guys
It
are
is
still
so
working, I wanna
fresh.
give you time, but if you're done, let's just do it.
I think I'm still.
You guys still working?
I think I am. I really am.
You gave up? Come
We don't know
on,
what to do.
Geneva.
What we're doing.
I should know what to do.
All right, Geneva's gonna walk us through this.
No.
So what did you do?
You put it over, okay, we put 5 over x plus 2
Okay, so they set it up like a proportion, which is fine.
I
equals
cannot.
2 over 5 minus x.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So basically, this has to equal this,
I was bored.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go this times this equals this times this. Okay, so I'm just gonna write that. 5 times 5 minus x has to equal 2 times x plus 2. You see what I did?
No.
See what I did?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I am at. That's where I'm
Okay,
at. I
good.
swear.
Then you distribute.
So now I'm gonna
I
distribute.
distribute. I don't. I never understood that. Oh yeah, because it's 5 times like 25
Show them
minus
the first
5x.
slide.
That's right.
Okay, now what?
I swear that's the thing though.
Now what?
Wait, hold up. Hold up. You get common factors because it's so you could get rid of the 4, so you can minus 4 and then add 4 to the 25, right? I mean subtract 4. from the
Okay,
25.
we could do it that way. We'll do it your way, which
So
is
21
so 21
minus
minus.
5x equals 2x, and then you get rid of the x's, so you do an x on both sides. So you do 2x.
So you want to subtract 2x from both sides?
Yeah.
So this is where you and I differ.
Why?
Because you create an extra step.
Well, just let me have my extra step, okay?
Okay.
Just subtract 2 extra both sides.
Let me have it.
So that's 21 minus 2x equals 0.
Minus
7x
7x.
equals
equals
0
0.
because it's negative.
So let's put the x.
And then you can just like
Why
divide.
can't you have the extra step?
Well, now
Is
you
it
can
like
get rid
negative
of.
3 equals x, right?
Well, 3 would equal x. Like you
Yeah.
can figure it out from there. But if you're trying to get x by itself, you either have to put this over there or that over there. So if you get rid of 21, so see how I brought the 4 over there and now I'm bringing it back? So you could have just brought it over there and brought the 2x over there. So you need to get the x's on one side and the constants
But
on the
I
other.
got the answer.
Yeah, you figured it out.
So I got the answer is x equals 3.
So x equals positive 3.
Yeah.
So the way I would do this equation, there's nothing wrong with the way you
I
did it.
pretty much
There's
did it
nothing
the same
wrong,
way.
but you're overcomplicating it.
Okay,
So I'm just trying to allow you to enjoy algebra a little bit more than you did yesterday. Or hate it less is probably a better way to put it. Okay, so what I would do is I would get rid of the smaller variable term first. I'm going to talk about this at graduation, actually.
Oh,
Are you
nice.
speaking?
Yes.
I wasn't sure because like Elena was like, you usually said, do you usually say no?
I
So-
do.
But we all voted for you.
Thank
Why do you
you.
say no?
Come on, it's the class of 2021. It's gonna
Yeah,
be the best
we're like
year.
the best class, right?
That's
So then we're then you get x's on both sides. So get rid of the constant term. 7x equals 21, and then divide by 7 to get x equals 3. This is just good old algebra. But again, if you can get the algebra, if you can get this, if you forgot how to solve this equation, but you can get it to this, you could probably find the right x that makes this true. Couldn't you? Just that's another way to solve an algebraic equation is to just guess and then test it. Okay? So you don't have to do that.
I think
But
I should get a Flack attack point. Just cause I really need that in my life.
well, the only one who got the point was Tobin.
Just give him like 5 and give you 1.
I think we can do another one because I think we made that good.
Okay. Okay.
Just don't erase that.
Yeah, leave that there.
All right. So this is the application problem. So the real world life here.
We're doing another one for a Flack attack point. Yeah, whatever. I need 2 more points.
Deja vu. Everyone, this is like the biggest deja
I
vu
have
I've
deja
ever
vu all
had.
the time.
Okay.
Did you see me?
Let me read the problem, and then you can do this for a Flack attack point if you want.
I need 2 more so I don't need to.
A super heavy passenger jet, not a super heavy passenger, but a super heavy passenger jet has an upper passenger deck
I usually have
that is located 3/4 of the way up the cylindrical fuselage. Okay, so this is what the plane looks like. Okay, what percentage of the height of the fuselage or whatever is the width of the upper deck? So they give you a diagram, so don't worry about it. So here's what the diagram looks like.
nice.
I know, my circles have been not good lately. So that is a 90-degree angle, which tells you what?
It's the other one's a 90-degree.
This is 1/4 H. This is 1/2 the W, 1/2 the W. So what's this have to be?
3/4.
Oh, wait.
Wait, this is whack. Hold on.
Oh, it just says, what percentage?
I'm so sorry, but could you scoot over a little bit? Wait, what percent of that is left? Maybe
Okay.
1/4 because they have to be congruent.
Well, this
Is
is
that-
3/4.
Oh, that changes everything. So it's like,
Well, gosh,
I think it's like a yawn because of that. It's
about
about 5/4. 5/4, 6/4. I think we got a straight line.
So I want to solve for W. This is what this says. They just want you to solve for W. This is a tough one.
Yeah,
Is there
there's
an easier one
scores.
for us to do?
You could do my physics homework one.
We can do one of your homework assignments.
Yeah, give us an easy.
Okay.
See, it's a stretch. It's a yawn for the body. A stretching is a yawn for the body.
Yeah, I like. It's like stretching.
That's what I said.
Anyways, are we done for the
You
day?
know how in movies they just like when they wake up they're just like,
Yeah.
you know, like that never
I
happens.
know
to me.
movies.
Never.
I
It never
am
happens.
in a movie.
If we get an A on a test, we get a problem
I
set,
guarantee
right?
you.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just thinking an A on this next test. And then do 4 more problem sets. That should be good.
You're getting 3 for free. So.
Yeah, so I get 3 for free. I have 23 points right now and extra credits, so it's 4. So I'm hoping I'll like round it up, you know?
Well,
That'll
or
be
you could just do a
5.
little schoolwork in class.
Yeah, I could.
Also, like,
So I have to, so anyways, I have to find a way to get 2 more points and then I'll get an A on this test. Yeah, sure.
Take a shower.
What? You're a morning shower guy. Okay.
I just don't like showering at night because it just messes up my hair.
No, it's okay.
I'm a night.
Okay, solve for X.
Which one?
Flack!